Mike Falvo, and you're watching Wrestle Fandom Radio.
Woo! Welcome, everybody, to Wrestle Fandom Radio. And it is I, your host, the CHAMP of the D, the belt taker, back breaking, soul shaking Joseph Stones. And here today to help me out is my friend Tom.
That's not even remotely close to. Are you kidding me?
You're gonna be Tom.
Oh,
can you change it out there to
Get
Tom?
out of here! No, I'm not changing it. Get out of here.
Okay. How's it going today, Tom?
It's fine.
Just
I guess.
fine?
It was fine until now. How about that?
Well, you look a little tired, and I think I know why you've been tired, because, 3 a.m., I got somebody knocking on my door wearing that stupid grim mask. I had it on my Ring doorbell, but guess what? Now the Wi-Fi don't want to work with that. That sounds real coincidental. Dude, I know it's you. Like, I'm
Why
not
would
mad
that
like
be
I
me?
would. Why? Who else would want to mess with me? Who else would want to mess with the nastiest champion in the world?
I told you right over there, right after that pill shot that Z gave me. Thank you, both of you, by the way, for that. That I'm done. I'm not trying to even get that belt back. That I'm done.
Well, you're never going to get it back anyways.
You
so.
just be the champ, and we'll just leave it like that, okay? Angela, what's up, Angela? Thanks for tuning in.
What up, Ange?
I told you that's it. I'm done. All right. That weird, whatever that was. What did you even say that was?
He called himself the Grim.
The Grim. Like, that's. No offense. I kind of would have came up with a better name than that.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah, because you're super
You
Wrestle Fandom Radio. Real creative guy you are.
Actually, I didn't even come up with that. that was the okay. And I love it. Yeah. I love it. That was Recchio, the guy who also still does our music. Thanks again, Recchio.
Yeah. Rated R.
So let's get into some stuff. Let's get into some. So not me and you. Let's get into some actual wrestling stuff.
Okay. Well,
is that okay with you, champ?
No, I think there's something going on the 29th.
30th, October 30th.
The 30th.
The day before Halloween, we have Halloween Havoc 2 for ICW.
Ooh, and what's going to happen on there?
Well, we know match-wise, there's going to be a few big matches going on. Okay. One, people you want to be there simply because of the normal indie wrestlers that are always in ICW. Okay, and especially
your future superstars.
Yeah, everyone you watch nowadays, 99.9% of the people, except for Rey Mysterio's kid, are going to be indie people. So
our boy Rick Recon.
Yeah, Rick Recon is going to again be going up against Blaze Haram, and
Ricky Recon going to get that belt back, baby.
It's going to be.
That's not a spoiler. That's what's gonna happen.
It's gonna be insane. These again,
Dude,
we had Rick on here.
Dude, Rick is the man.
And I said, these guys are gonna fight forever. They really are.
Oh, it's one of those. It's one of those rivalries until one of them drops 6 feet under. That it's just gonna go on and on.
It's like Batman and Joker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're gonna be going at it.
Me and you.
Yeah. They're gonna be going at it forever.
Before we continue on,
yeah, I did. Yep, thank you. I just thought of it as well.
Let's give a shout out to Dippin Donuts. If you want a coffee, you want a donut, hit them up. 2 spots in Rome, 1 spot in New Hartford. Hit Rockin' Horse Tattoo if you want some make. Go down there, make your appointment. And our boy Fred. It's Seasonal Sports. You want some swag? You need something personal made? Hit up Fred if you want a Wrestle Fandom shirt. If you want anything from the D Squad. If you want anything from the D itself. Stores are there. Go hit them up. Support your local businesses, people. And just a shout out to anybody out there watching. You want to become a sponsor of the show, hit us up. Just message us on Facebook on either of the podcasts. And we'll throw your name out there.
Yeah. And if you go to any of those places, tell them we sent you. It helps them out. It helps us out. It helps you out.
Tell them the champ sent you. If you tell them that Tom sent you, that they're not going to know who the hell you're talking about.
Tom.
You look like a Tom.
We've known each other for like
20-something.
20 years. Like, you know.
You're that forgettable, Garrett. See, I said your name there, though. I said Garrett.
Yeah, that's good. Just goes to show how you're acting. All right. All right. Now, if anyone knows ICW, there's always big featurings. Always. Okay. Now, Just Incredible is again going to be there. If you've missed him in the couple times he's already come, you're missing out.
Oh my God, yes.
He's a great guy to meet. His
name just isn't just a play on words.
Yeah,
like, he's just an incredible dude.
So you got to come, you got to meet him. But the other two guys that are going to be there, okay? AC Romero and Moose are going to be there, okay? Yeah. Now, AC, I'm pretty sure that AC is going to be wrestling Fox.
I believe so, yes.
Been here with, who's a frequent, and he's not there all the time, but he's there a lot with ICW. But then one of the staples of ICW, Nick Sullivan, is going to be wrestling Moose. Dude, this match.
Yo, they better reinforce that. They got to reinforce. They got to reinforce. Because,
for both of those matches, I mean, I'm not trying to say anything big, but even AC has to know he's a big guy. You know what I mean? And Fox is the regular size dude. You know what I mean? So, but he's still a big, strong guy. They're going to be going at it. It's going to be awesome. But Moose and Nick is like,
when we were talking to Nick at the last show, back there, and I'm not a small man, and I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, that's a big piece of steak right there. He's a big man, and let's be honest, they're going to need to throw a couple extra screws, get a couple of reinforced beams, and put it in the bottom of that ring. Because guess what? They might be having to buy a new ring after that.
I just hope the entire place can hold. Like Moose.
I hope it's on the first floor. Oh
Moose is huge and strong.
His name's Moose for a reason.
He's built like a Mack truck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like if he was running at me, I would run faster than I've ever run. Years ago, like I had a house fire, and I ran that fast to get back to my house. And I would be running faster away from Nick Sullivan to get away. I wouldn't want to be
100%.
Anywhere in that vicinity. The man's a monster. Okay,
they both are.
So you're gonna want to be there for that. I mean, go to their page, get some tickets. I'm not 100%. I think the front rows might be sold out already.
Probably. They usually sell out really quick.
They sell out usually pretty quick. So yeah, go there, get tickets, come out there. It's in Troy. It's going to be great.
And they just announced their Immortal Things 2 show too on November 20th, having Vicky Guerrero there. That's going to be
Vicky Guerrero. Everyone, come on. You want to admit it, you want to meet Vicky.
Current AEW manager, former SmackDown general manager, love her, hate her, love to hate her, whatever you want. She's a polarizing person in her own, and I love that's something I love about ICW. They go out of their way to make sure that they are servicing their fans in every aspect that they can, whether it be the guest appearance, the shows themselves speak for themselves. Without a doubt, some of the best wrestling you will see, not just locally, but in the world. And then the way they take care of us as fans by getting dudes like Ryback, Teddy Long, Just Incredible, Vicky Guerrero, you're getting these people in there that make the fans want to come even more. And it just shows how much work and how much love they have for the sport.
Mike King puts on a show, man.
Mike King is the man. And you can tell, he's not just one of these guys who's just put on a promotion, try to make a quick buck, throwing whoever they want. He takes care of his guys, he takes care of his fans, and you can tell by the high value of the production and everything that goes into it, and it puts them far beyond everybody else that puts on shows locally, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm the champ, so my opinion means the most.
So check out their page, check out our page. We share everything that they share about match announcements. So stay tuned for us on our Facebook or theirs. All the info will be there. Every match announcement, we go right through them. So with that said, let's move on to some of the bigger stuff. I know you wanted to talk about the numbers.
So I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but so the last 2 weeks have been kind of a different kind of showing, because the past 2 weeks, Dynamite has not been able to be, well, last week and this week, Dynamite has not been able to be on Wednesday night because, I believe it's because of hockey.
Yes.
So you got hockey has come back, basketball's come back, you got the World Series coming up. So, like, Dynamite was moved to Saturday. Rampage went on the normal time. SmackDown wasn't on Fox, it was on FS1. And in the head-to-head numbers, overall, they had about the same amount of people. But in the 18 to 49 bracket, AEW beat SmackDown. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, that's insane. And I think it shows.
It's still a fairly new company.
They're less than 2 years old.
Yeah.
And I think it shows that that product really is shining through. And with the mess that WWE has been, in my opinion, I'm
forced to agree. I mean, you can't.
Like, there are some things that WWE is starting to kind of rectify and do right. Like, I think putting the belt on Big E is probably one of the best things that they've done in a while.
Right. Although, I think they went earlier because they were scared of ratings. So they went early on it for a rating spike.
And hopefully Big E holds that belt all the way to WrestleMania. I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen. Hopefully that is something that does stay.
Right. But I hope he also stays in as a contender for it, like, afterwards, because, like, once it was off Kofi, that was it.
I think he had one rematch and, like, it was said and done.
Yeah.
But there's a lot with, like, right now, honestly, like, having face badass Lesnar, I'm kind of digging that a little bit to go toe to toe with Roman Reigns. I like the role reversal between the two.
Yeah, the kind of carefree.
Yes.
Like, I you know what, I like it too.
And I'm kind of enjoying the whole, like, Paul Heyman's, it's like my ex-boyfriend and my new boyfriend kind of dynamic there. Like, I'm digging that. It's just they have so many wrestlers between the three shows. Let's be honest, and there's so little to talk about. And you're thinking, like, you have damn near 7 hours of show for the week, and there's not a lot to talk about. Like, they have Crown Jewel tomorrow, and like, me and Garrett were kind of going over the card quick, and I left my phone over there. I need my phone to look at it. Do you have it pulled up?
No, I don't. But I know I know it was most of it. It was like we got. I mean, obviously, you got the Lesnar
versus Reigns match, which will be good.
Edge and
Rollins again in a Hell in a Cell. I'm very much looking forward to that, especially after their last match.
Yeah, I think they might actually crank it up a notch there. But it has to have a definitive winner. If they try and do like what they did with Bray Wyatt and like have that again, I mean, literally, they'd probably be a good idea to pull that in Saudi, because I think if you try to pull that in the States again, like, you're gonna have riots. You're gonna have a riot on your hands. Like, people, they're not gonna put up with that again. I mean, it was crap as it is.
The Becky Sasha Bianca match,
yes.
I'm looking forward to, because, like,
I think that could be match of the night personally.
100%, and like that's like, you really didn't have too much of Sasha and Becky one-on-one, and that three-way that's a fresh combo of people, like, and I am very much looking forward to that. The thing, you guys, you're having Bobby Lashley versus Bill Goldberg in a no-holds-barred match. Like,
really,
get out of here, Bill. I feel like at this point, he's almost tainting his legacy.
Yeah.
Like, he's that old guy who goes up every Wednesday night and plays softball and like, talks about how good he was 20 years ago, and then one of the guys goes to the pitcher, throw the ball a little slower so the old man can get his jollies off.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Lashley should kill him.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
and they're gonna do something, and because Goldberg's fired up. Like Goldberg's son is probably gonna jump in again and get me. Like it's not something I want to see. It's not something I'm looking forward to. I'll be very honest. That'll probably be the match where I go take my shit for the morning because it's on at noon tomorrow. So like depending on what time I have my coffee, the champ's bowels are regular, but if I wake up a little bit later, coffee goes through. That'll probably be about the time I go drop the kids off at the pool, But the match I am looking forward the most is who's going to be King of the Ring.
Yeah.
You got Xavier Woods versus Finn Balor.
Now, my normal WWE crap meter says that obviously they're going to put it on Finn Balor. Personally, I think it should be Xavier Woods.
And Xavier Woods has talked about this in length over years. Like he's never really wanted to be the champ. He's always wanted to be King of the Ring.
Right.
And like I was saying to you earlier, they just gave Finn back his demon gimmick.
Right.
I don't see them giving him the King gimmick along with it.
Right.
Unless you're going to be the King Demon. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, the Demon King. Because I can see them trying that.
King Xavier blows off so much better.
They've changed Keith Lee's name again. Now he's just Bearcat Lee. Get the hell out of here. Are you kidding me? One of the best guys that you had coming up and
oh my God, in a long time.
Honestly,
Keith Lee was the best thing that's come out of NXT that's been a long stay on the main roster that they kind of started doing something good with him, and then they felt like since KO and with a big guy, know, and it just I don't know, it's just they got I want to see King Xavier.
Yeah, me too. And I think that's where they should go with it. Obviously, he wants it more. I think he could possibly have the match of his life. Because Finn Balor's a good wrestler, and Finn Balor will give you a good match.
Honestly,
whether he
Xavier's
wins or
a very
loses.
underrated wrestler.
He is. I mean, I've liked him since way back in the day when in TNA. No, in TNA when he was Consequences Creed. I immediately liked him, and I've always been a fan of his. So I think he could possibly have the match of his life in order to prove that he is the King of the Ring.
I hope so. Because one of the few things that WWE has done right is they've been very good to the New Day, and they've given the New Day their dues. And you have a group that I think at the end of the day is probably going to be the most winningest, the most profilic, and they're good guys. Even though they started off almost as heels. You've never had a trio like them that have done what they have. We talked about the Shield and everything on past episodes. And again, the New Day really is the other side to that Shield coin. But look what stayed so much longer. The longevity with them and the chemistry between those three guys. It's not like with Moxley, Reigns, and Rollins. It was three guys that were thrown together that worked well together, and then they went off on their own thing. These were three guys that were thrown together who, by fate, became brothers. They legit are best friends. If you listen to their podcast, or they talk to each other all the time. They rode together when they were all on the same show. They genuinely love the shit out of each other, and it's great to see, and it translates to the shows. And I don't know about you, Garrett, but New Day rocks, bud.
It does. And I think as a stable, together, because it's if you look at other wrestlers who've then been in stables, it's solo, they're going to have, the title count. But put them as the stable, they're definitely going to be the most decorated stable of all time. I mean, how long have they been New Day?
Been 6 years
at least, and we're talking how many tag title runs?
And then correct me if I'm wrong,
individual belts now. I mean,
I think they're the longest reigning tag team.
I think they are. I think they beat them. I think they beat out. Yeah, they beat out Demolition because I remember the celebration.
It's like something like 400 days or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it was over a year.
Yeah,
like,
and it's now they're up to like 7-time champs or something like 7-time tag champs or something like that.
So.
I mean, just that alone, and then plus any individual belts now that have been coming in. I mean, they're gonna end up being. I think they're gonna end up being the most decorated tag.
Absolutely.
But now, hopefully, we'll be throwing in King of the Ring into that pot and with Xavier Woods because he deserves
and like
it.
just imagine that, okay? Like how well he'll be able to sell that. Like he's such an animated, entertaining person as is. And can you imagine him every week? All hail King Xavier.
Yeah. They're gonna,
Oh, it'll be amazing.
They're gonna use that. They're gonna butter that up.
My
It's gonna
God.
be, it's gonna be fantastic. So, so another thing I wanted to ask actually, about AEW as well is that they introduced, much like the men have the TNT.
The TBS title.
Championship, they introduced the TBS title. Now, I thought it was cool. I'm like, oh yeah, cool. You're gonna obviously introduce a mid card, but then CM Punk was on an episode of, I think was it Your Mom's Basement or something like that, and he was talking about how he was like asking if the AEW women's division has enough depth for a mid card title, essentially, and he's not saying, and he even said it, he's not saying that they don't deserve it, that they don't have another one. He even brought up, should there be tag champ, female tag champs prior or like before there's a mid card belt, and I mean, those are good questions. Those are good things to bring up. And
AEW has a very, very good, very, very talented female division.
Yeah.
But the depth, I don't believe, is there yet. Like,
right.
You have 6 or 7 really, really good women there that do their singles, they team up and do their tags. I don't think the depth is there yet. And I don't think they have enough weekly time to give the women's division its fair shake right now.
Yeah.
Like, you got Dynamite, you got your hour Rampage. You only have 3 hours a week. And the dark matches are not usually people that are on the main roster.
Yeah, unless they're really going to promote it on dark, which, I mean, could, give dark more credibility, but could also at the same time pull that belt down. With of its intent. You know what I mean?
What I can see happening, and it might not be for a year or two, but I see Rampage becoming a 2-hour live show eventually.
It's got to. I'm surprised that they already haven't pulled the trigger on it. So.
Well, I think they're still kind of playing with it, and like from when I went to the AEW show, they record Rampage the hour after Dynamite goes off the air. And I think once they're more established, once they're bringing in a little bit more cheddar, where they can send the whole roster to 2 locations a week instead of just doing the one. Because you got to think too, part of the appeal of AEW to the talent that goes there is, all right, we're only doing 1 live show a week. We're doing everything, we're shooting everything one night. The next day I can hop on a plane and go home for the next week. Whatever, if they've got different
everything's
appearances or whatever, but for the most part, it's very similar how WWE during the pandemic. All right, Raw's on Monday. Show up to the Performance Center on Monday, do my show, go home for the next 6 days, right. And that's part of
which works, for your wrestlers. But I think, and I know we definitely spoke about it before. I think the way it seems they're already handling a lot of the in-ring talent should be smarter. Like the way Hangman just came back, take a break, take a break.
That's your thing. The pot,
that will it extends the longevity of your wrestlers.
Oh,
I mean, like first off, and but like the mental health, the physical health, just like the everything, like, you know, people may not realize how long wrestlers are on the road for everything that they're doing, and it's, you know, it's crazy, you know, that everything that they have to do.
Right.
So it's just, I think they should give them that time. You know what I mean? That time off.
They need that time off. Yeah. And like Daniel Bryan himself said, when Hangman came back, the pop he got was bigger than when Bryan made his debut.
Yeah.
Like and that's the thing. Like you have this dedicated fan base that every week grows bigger and bigger and bigger. And you have these wrestlers that, like the Young Bucks, like Kenny Omega, like Hangman, who really weren't exposed to the main American wrestling audience.
Right.
And now that they have them, they want more and more and more and more of them. I honestly can't wait, because I know it's going to happen, for Marty Scurll to come to AEW.
Yeah.
I love the villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and there's so much that they can do now. There's so much that they need to expand upon with that roster, that it's only a matter of time till Rampage gets moved to a 2-hour live show.
Right.
And I think you have a better chance of it being successful of when they do have that more time, because right now they're focusing on everything the right way. The women's division doesn't get as much spotlight as it should, but they're getting there. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Like, it's.
So I mean, you know, to go back to the main point, it's like, I hope it doesn't get lost in the shuffle.
Right.
And a point that CM Punk made is if everyone's a champ, then no one's a champ. You know, and considering that they have champs from other shows coming on too.
True.
You know, they have the Impact heavyweight and tag champs are constantly showing up, like they're literally employed by both, which I think is great,
It's
because
brilliant.
I want Impact to get brought up, you know, have like more, and I think it could possibly help. And you know, if essentially one way or another Impact almost comes under the AEW umbrella, like it's AEW Impact, you know, like that could be huge for them.
Which
and
I think
it
will
still
eventually
be their
what
own
happens.
product,
Right.
their own separate product, could still be huge, and I'd like that, you know, because obviously TNA, I'm an huge old school TNA fan. I mean, I used to only watch that at one point,
Right.
way back in the day. Obviously the rumors are flying out around Impact with Adam Scherr. Possibly signing more for there, which I think will be better for him.
Oh, 100%.
Personally.
But he also has said that he'll never sign on as a full-time wrestler ever.
And that's fine. And that's fine. You know, he almost doesn't need to, you know, because, or they could essentially kind of do like they could Brock Lesnar it.
Well, that's
You
what
know,
I'm
like
thinking too.
come in, take the belt, and wrestle
What I would
4
love
times
to see,
a year.
What
you
I
know?
would love to see is you have Bray go to AEW,
Right.
and then you have Braun on Impact,
Yeah.
and then Bray's doing whatever, and then one Dynamite, all of a sudden, the Monster Among Men comes through and just boom, and then because like that, I love the fact the cross promotion, like you and I have talked about before, like that's what WrestleMania should be, is the champions from all the promotions facing off against each other, like, and you would have matchups that you would never see, like picture if you had like the Usos versus the Young Bucks, like
Right.
Can you imagine like that match? You know what I mean? Like, and like Kenny Omega coming over and wrestling someone, like, and you would have these matchups that have never happened. That
Kenny
could
Omega
happen.
versus Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're, you know.
MJF versus The Miz.
Yeah,
Like how
just trash talk.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine the trash talk that would happen?
Oh,
it'd be fantastic.
It would be amazing, and you have that. Like honestly, I hope sometime in our lifetime that's where it goes. But it looks like AEW is kind of like doing that, and like enemy of my enemy is my friend. So like when you have every other promotion in the world all working together, and you're like, no, this is my ball. I'm going to stay over here play by myself.
Yeah. Eventually,
nobody else is even going to ask to play with you.
Yeah, and no one's going to care.
Right.
Now, what do you? You don't seem to. It's like they take a lot of wrestlers from there, especially to start. Right. AEW did, but for ROH, why do you think we're not seeing a lot of like shine to them? Is it because you think it's because they kind of screwed them over to start their business, or?
I think there might be still a little bit of bad blood in that water.
Like, because obviously if they wanted to make up for that, they could kind of be doing the same thing. They could have the ROH champ come in and just clean house. You know what I mean? And then take his ball and go home. You know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm going to come in, I'm going to raise hell on Dynamite, then I'm going to raise hell on Rampage, and then I'm going to go back to ROH. And you want to see me? Watch ROH. You know what I mean? Like that, they should give they could give the shine to them. I mean, I don't know what happened backstage stuff, obviously. You know what I mean? But
I don't know. It's real funny to me, like, because like you see AEW promoting the shit out of New Japan, out of Impact, like GSW, like, and they're like just promoting the crap out of them and having their guys over and our guys over there, and it's just, I think you might be onto something there, Tom.
Like, so for anyone who then also doesn't know like exactly what we're citing, it's reported that ROH essentially funded the very first AEW pay-per-view.
Correct.
And then to truly start the company, they also took a lot of their wrestlers, and then ROH got like no shine at all. They got nothing from it. So I mean, again, this is all report. I could be wrong, but we're talking like this is like regular like dirt sheet and Wrestle Feed type stuff that that gets reported.
Kita.
Yeah. So it is that is what it is. But yeah, that's hopefully whatever changes are made, Impact ends up becoming a bigger, better thing. And if it were to come under the umbrella of AEW eventually, I think it would be smart to have a lot of your dark and dark elevation guys who are like the smaller type wrestlers to then go to Impact and truly reignite the X Division.
Oh, absolutely.
Because the X Division used to be the thing to watch. I mean, if you've never seen like the Chris Angel, what was it? Not Chris Angel. Sorry. I'm thinking like Angel Wings and all that. Christopher Daniels,
yes.
AJ Styles and Joe Matt. I mean, it's literally a class. I mean, it was probably the match of that decade. It was probably the match
100%.
of the like 2000 to 2010. It's probably the match of the decade. I mean, it was one of the best matches you'll ever watch in your entire life. And I think I think it's the first one that they did, because I think they did a couple because it was so good.
Yes.
But the first one was blow your mind, unbelievable. I mean, it was nonstop. You know what I mean? So it was just crazy.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot out there. But you know what? While we're on King of the Ring stuff here, I'm maybe thinking we should do our top 5 of the week. King of the Ring. I mean, let's just do it. All right. So, you're number 5. What do you got?
The Macho King.
Macho King. Nice.
That's the first real King of the Ring run that I can remember.
Right.
And I always thought it was so, I wouldn't necessarily say cool, but it was so interesting because you had Mr. Cowboy Hat wearing, oh yeah, brother, and then he's coming out in the big robe now. He's got the crown. And he went full heel when it was Macho King. And
right.
It was thoroughly entertaining for me.
My number 5 is actually King Booker.
Oh. King Booker is actually my number 1.
It was 06, and he beat Lashley for it, which is fantastic.
Oh,
you know, because obviously everyone knows I'm not the biggest Lashley fan. It's only because I love Booker T, but it was the whole then changing the way he spoke thing that kind of annoyed me. But he was doing it to rib everybody.
Oh, 100%.
You know, which is also why I love it. So it was annoying, but I loved it at the same time.
King Booker was my number 1 because to me, that has been the most memorable, the most still talked about to this day. It's been almost 20 years, and everybody talks about King Booker. You know, and that was my number 1.
Yeah. My number 4 is Owen Hart, 94.
That's mine also, the King of Hearts.
He beat Razor Ramon for it.
Yeah.
It was
and he
great.
followed after Brat had won it the previous 2 years.
Yep.
Then you had Owen win it.
Yep. My number 3 was actually Billy Gunn in 99. He beat X-Pac for it. And my only gripe with this match was the crowd.
Oh.
If you go back and watch the clip of him winning, it's like people didn't care, and it's like, this is King of the Ring. I love King of the Ring. Me personally, I thought the King of the Ring tournament has always been genius.
Right.
And I am excited that they're doing a women's now for it. Like
the Queen of the Ring.
Yeah. So it's
Queen's Crown.
Yeah,
right?
the Queen's Crown. I don't know why they just don't call it Queen of the Ring. I think it sounds fine.
My 3 was Triple H when he won, and he was the King of Kings.
The King of Kings.
And I like that he did something different with it. Because, and that's still something that has stuck with him to this day. It's still, he's still referenced as that. You know, he's not just the game. He's the King of Kings.
The King of Kings.
Yeah, and it sticks well. Who's your 2?
My 2 is actually Bret Hart for winning. It was 91 and 93, and respectively, he beat IRS and then Bam Bam for it. It was, it's Bret Hart. You know, he's the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
I'm guessing my number 2 is your number 1.
I'm going to assume so.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Memorable, and the fact that he didn't even really run with the King Monk, you know, the whole thing, and.
No, he used it like a springboard.
Yes.
You know,
so for those of you guys out there who are unfamiliar, what year was this? 95?
It was 96.
96, okay.
He beat Jake Roberts.
So, Jake the Snake, he had come back. I think he had done a stint in rehab, and he had found God in real life, and they let that translate over to his character. So he'd been preaching, you know, John 3:16, everything else. And Stone Cold beats him. Stone Cold, they're interviewing him after, and he's out there on the crown.
Michael Hayes. It was Michael Hayes was with him, right?
Yep. And he simply states, and this is the promo that rang around the world.
Still.
He looks into the camera. He has that mic. He goes, you keep going on there thumping your Bible, talking about your John 3:16. He goes, and Austin 3:16 just said, I just whooped your ass. And that short little promo there made the best-selling Wrestle merchandise ever.
How many, just 316,
how many variations of it, too?
Have you seen about your entire life?
Literally every year, the wrestling world celebrates March 16th.
Yeah.
It's
become a wrestling holiday.
316 day, baby.
It's 316. It's Stone Cold Steve Austin Day. That's insane. You know, it's done that much. So yeah, that was my number 1, and then your number 1, like you said,
was
King
Booker.
King Booker.
And it was just the only reason it edged out the Austin thing is we all know how much I love Austin. It's just the fact that it had the King with it, and it's lasted so long. You know.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I hard pressed to disagree. All right. So again, check out everything that has to do with ICW. We would appreciate it. They would appreciate it. You got to go. You're going to see stuff you've never seen. All right?
Absolutely.
So
and you're seeing the next you're gonna thank yourself 20 years from now when these guys are getting introduced to WWE or the AEW Hall of Fame. Be like, you know what? I remember when that guy was 20.
Yeah.
And I went and saw him in a show in Schenectady, and like he tore it up then. And I knew, you could tell your grandkids that I knew he was gonna be a superstar.
I did that with KO.
Who?
You know, when he was going by his regular name, Kevin Steen, in 2CW, I looked at Stu and I said, this guy is going to be huge. He's a multi-time WWE, everything. I think is he a Grand Slam? He might be. I'm not even sure.
I think he might be one away, actually.
Was it United States? Because I know he had the IC.
He had the IC. He had the Universal. He had tag. Or did he have tag?
Did he have? Maybe he's not. Maybe he wasn't WWE champ. I don't even know. It's hard to keep track now. Yeah, which is a shame because he should be a Grand Slam champ because he's amazing.
Oh, 100%.
But yeah, so check them out. Thank you again to all our sponsors.
100%. Check us out next week at Movie Madness. We are not sure what genre we're doing yet.
Yes, it depends. So we're hoping to get Demetrios in studio to actually do an episode.
Star Trek versus Star Wars.
Star Trek versus Star Wars. If we don't,
we'll have our good friend Casey back.
Yeah, we'll most likely be doing Marvel non-MCU. So all the X-Men's and the Spider-Men's and all the, Fantastic Four, all those other
Punishers.
movies. Yes, the Punishers. I don't even want to. Don't get me started because so that's going to be, either way, it's going to be a great show. So tune in then, and then catch us back here for Wrestle Fandom in 2 weeks. All right? And we will see everybody else.
Thanks for joining me today, Tom. It was really nice hanging out with you.
All right. Well, and then we're going to let Danny Adam take us out of here.
Take us out of here.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll come up and I'll come down.
I'm Danny Adam, and you're watching Wrestle Fandom Radio.